Since Trump was sworn in as president, he has met his Russian counterpart, Putin, 5 times. The details of their conversations remain unknown to the public, and in most cases even to senior administration officials.
Here's a summary of the article.
Since Donald Trump was sworn in as president, he has met his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, 5 times. Secrecy around such meetings, they say, raises fresh questions about the nature of Trump's relationship with Putin at a time when his ties to Russia are the subject of several investigations. According to some national security experts, when it comes to uncovering the motivations behind the president's desire for closer relations with the Kremlin and the complex web of contacts between his associates and Moscow, few interactions might be more consequential than those between Trump and Putin. Trump's posture towards Russia has been a focus of his time in the White House, confounding national security officials and exposing rifts between the president and prominent members of his administration. The president's former lawyer and fixer also said 2 of Trump's children, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump, were briefed on Trump Tower Moscow approximately 10 times, contradicting their claims of minimal knowledge of the discussions. Satter has been linked to the Russian mob and allegedly suggested Trump Tower Moscow, which never came to fruition, should include a $50 million penthouse as a gift to Putin. Democrats say there is reason to delve into the negotiations, which took place as then candidate Trump lavished praise on Putin and vowed to improve U.S.-Russia relations.
This post received a score of 65,247, with an upvote ratio of 68%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What happened to, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear?
The Patriot Act.
That was the Patriot Act anthem, repeated ad nauseum by Republicans justifying intrusion into our lives. Sadly, I knew the lawyer who wrote this legislation, and even he and his wife said that phrase, that and FISA courts are beyond reproach.
Yeah, too bad those Democrats never had the chance to overturn it and stop warranties surveillance on their own country and your allies.
It was passed during the backdrop of 9/11. Americans were capable of very heinous shit during that time and were still feeling the effects. Mass trauma does fucked up things to the mind of the fearful.
But then it was renewed.
Yeah, once you give power it's hardly given back.
I work at a government facility and had to do a 4-hour interview with an FBI agent, disclose every place I've lived and worked for the past 7 years and every time I've left the country, just to be hired as a graphics artist. Let that sink in.
I had to bring my father's birth certificate to an interview at a government facility because he wasn't born in the US but was naturalized BC. He came here at 4 years old. It was for a marketing position. Do you know how hard it is to find your dad's birth certificate from 1947 Germany?
My clearance got held up because my brother was born on an American military base in Seoul. I guess we all missed the change in policy where they started just handing them out like candy.
I don't even understand that. He was on American territory. It's like certain people not thinking Puerto Rico is part of the US.
Sometimes the people who do clearance investigations are not brilliant. I was asked to provide more contact information for me deceased brother.
Light a bunch of candles and turn off the lights.
I mean pretty much. I asked if he needed the address of the cemetery and if he'd actually visit. It wasn't the only thing in that interview that made me question the whole process.
Part of that may just to see how you'd react, and also if, without thinking, you give your brother's apartment address, they now know you're lying. But I'm sure there's also stupid people working for the government.
You'd think it would be pretty easy for the FBI to find out if you're lying about your brother being dead.
I'm saying those interviews are also to determine if you'll lie. Of course they know, they want to see what you tell them.
Honestly, Putin probably just flatters him for hours and Trump soaks it up. Then he extracts sensitive intel like a trained KGB officer. Oops.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.